Hello student, welcome to all of you in this physics lecture. Myself Rajesh Lagat, physics teacher in Sri Shivaji Vidya Mandiram. अगोदरच्या लेक्चरमध्ये आपण what are the characteristics of scalar product of two vector हे पाहिलं होतं आणि त्या अगदी सोप्या होत्या, सगळ्यांना समजल्या असतील. Scalar product of two vector obeys commutative law, distributive law. Scalar product of two mutually perpendicular vector is equal to 0. Scalar product of a vector with itself is equal to square of its magnitude. Like this, the physical quantity like the work can be expressed in a scalar product. So these are the very important characteristics. Now on these characteristics, where to with the help of this we can solve the numericals here. In your exam, you have to ask this some numericals by using this scalar product. It is also called as a dot product. On the properties of this scalar product of two vector, the three types of the numericals are you have to ask in your exam. First is that to show that the two vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other, and also find out the angle between the two vectors. And last one is that to find out the work done, that is equal to product of the force and the displacement. Just like also find out the magnitude and the unit vector given direction. So this type of the numericals we can solve in this lecture. This is very important. You can try this, practice this and solve it. Okay. आणखी एक सर्वांना सांगायचं की सर्व 11वीतल्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी हे चॅनल जे आहे माझं ते त्यांनी सबस्क्राईब करा. म्हणजे सबस्क्राईब केल्यानंतर कुठलाही नवीन व्हिडिओ आला की लगेच तुम्हाला त्याची माहिती मिळते आणि तुम्हाला ते समजतं. ठीक आहे. फर्स्ट वी हॅव टू टेक द फर्स्ट एक्झाम्पल. फाइंड द मॅग्निट्यूड ऑफ, वी हॅव टू राईट हिअर, फाइंड द मॅग्निट्यूड ऑफ, find the magnitude of a bar like this. A bar is equal to 3i plus 2j and minus 6k. Here the bar is so essential. And unit vector, and the unit vector in the direction of the vector a bar. Okay, just like the question you have to ask. Find the magnitude of a bar and also find out the unit vector. How it can be find out? First, the magnitude of, we have to write short here, magnitude of vector a bar is nothing but what? So this is nothing but only a. Okay, now we have to find out this a, that means the magnitude of vector a bar, that is equal to a. For that purpose you have to use the formula like this: ax square plus ay square and plus az square. This is the formula. Coefficient of ijk and squaring and addition of this, taking in the square root. Okay, therefore this a is equal to, we have to write here ax, ay, az. These are nothing but what? The coefficient of I. This is the ax. Ay coefficient of j. This is the coefficient of ay, that is the 2. And az, this is the minus 6 here. That means coefficient of ijk with sign we can take here and taking the square. First, the 3 bracket square plus 2 ay is equal to 2 bracket square plus minus 6 bracket square. This a bar is also we can write ix plus jy plus kaz. Then comparing this ax, ay, az, 3, 2 and minus 6 and square of this. Then square of this 9 and the square of this 2 is 4, and this is also minus, but square of this minus is also plus, and this is nothing but the 36. Then we have to add here, this is nothing but the 49, and square root of this 49 is equal to 7. Okay, so we have to find out this is nothing but the magnitude of vector a bar. This is the a, this is not a bar, this is the a, that means this is the magnitude. Then how it can you find out the magnitude? The square root of coefficient of ijk, squaring and adding of this coefficient of ijk, that is the 3, 2 and minus 6. If you have to minus, but square of this minus is also plus. Okay, then we have to find out the unit vector. The unit vector in the direction of a bar. How it can be find out? This is the a symbol of the unit vector, a bar or a cap also we have to write. This is the unit vector, and formula this we have to also seen in the first lecture, that is the a bar upon, that is the a, that means the magnitude of a. Okay, a bar, this is the given vector, and this a is nothing but what? This is the magnitude. Then substituting this value we have to write here. Substituting here, a bar is what? This is nothing but the a bar, 3i plus 2j and minus 6k. Okay, and magnitude of this a we have to find out. This is the 7 and this is 7. Okay, this is also we can write here this a cap, this is the unit vector in the direction of the a bar. We can write this 1 upon 7 we have to write here, and into bracket 3i plus 2j minus 6k. In this way we can write. Also 3 by 7i plus 2 by 7j plus minus 6 by 7k. In this way we also write, and this is nothing but the unit vector. Okay, this is the first problem, to find out the magnitude and also unit vector in the direction of the given vector. Like this you can take the a bar, also b bar, p bar, q bar. Instead of this 3i to 2j minus 6k, you can take the changing this value and solve like this. Find the unit vector and also its magnitude. Okay, you have to understand this well. You have to find the next problem. Then next important numerical is that show that these two vectors are scalar product of these two vectors, they are mutually perpendicular to each other. This is the one important numerical you have to ask in your exam. Okay, we have to first see here, prove that, like this we have to write here. Next numerical, prove that a bar is equal to 3i plus 2j minus 6k, and b bar is equal to 4i minus 3j and plus k. Okay, these are these two vectors, and prove that these two vectors are perpendicular to each other, Okay, perpendicular to each other. You have to remember the property of this characteristics of the scalar product of two vector. That means two vectors of mutually perpendicular two vectors, then their scalar product is equal to, or dot product is equal to 0. That means when these two vectors are perpendicular to each other, if their dot product is equal to 0, that means we have to prove that this a bar dot b bar is equal to 0, then these two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Okay, therefore first for solving this we have to write here a bar is equal to what? This 3i plus 2j minus 6k. B bar is equal to what? 4i minus 3j plus k. We have to write here. Then this a bar dot b bar we have to find out this. पहा हे कसं सोडवायचं. a बारची व्हॅल्यू टाकू आपण 3i plus 2j minus 6k. Okay, and dot in second bracket 4i minus 3j and plus k. Okay, we have to write here. 1 minute. Okay, we have to find out the dot product. Dot product means what? We have to see the in rectangular unit form I dot I, j dot j, and k dot k is equal to 1, and I dot j, j dot k, k dot I is equal to 0. Okay, how it can be solved? See here, a bar dot b bar is equal to, we know that this I is equal to 1, j dot j is equal to 1, k dot k is equal to 1. How it can be solved? First, we have to coefficient of I we can multiply, because this is the multiplication. 3 into 4 into I dot I, okay, plus j, here j, here j. 2 into minus 3 with sign, 2 into minus 3, because coefficient of j is with sign, minus j, minus 3j. You have to take here minus 3 into j dot j, okay, plus coefficient of k here minus 6 into here 1 and into k bar dot k bar, okay. Solving this, 3 into 4, that is the 12, but we know that is property I dot I is equal to what? 1. Then 2 into minus 3, minus 6, here plus, plus minus, minus 6 into j bar dot j bar 1, plus minus 6 into 1, minus 6, here plus, plus minus, minus, here 1, then minus 6 into k bar dot k bar is equal to also 1. Then this 12 into 1, 12, minus 6 and minus 6. Again this 12 minus 6 minus 6 minus 12, 12 minus 10 is equal to 0, and this is nothing but the a bar dot b bar is equal to 0. Then we remember this characteristics of scalar product of two vector. That means scalar product of two mutually perpendicular vector is equal to 0. If their dot product is equal to 0, that means this vector a bar and b bar are mutually perpendicular to each other, and we can prove this, okay. Like this you can solve this problem in such a way that the dot product is equal to 0, then these two vectors are perpendicular to each other.